Why, hello YouTube! My name is Isaac Holmes, and yes, I'm changing up my intro because I thought it was very boring, and unfortunately decided to zoom in on my general and his general bodyguard once again for the start of my Medieval 2 Total War video. But anyways, so recently while playing Medieval 2 Total War, I decided to go ahead and start using factions that I never really considered using. So I'm using Denmark, and I'm going up against, well, the Mongols, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. So we have my general's bodyguard. We have 2 units of sword staff militia. 4 units of Norse axemen. They look pretty awesome. Very scary guys. Remind me of Varangian Guard for the Byzantines. 4 units of dismounted Huskarls and 4 units of Norse archers, plus a large contingent of cavalry. Some more Huskarls right here. Norse war clerics, and these guys look amazing. Look at that helmet. That is a really awesome helmet. Let's see, more Norse war clerics. Yes, tons of those guys. I actually have a unit of cav hidden out here, the Huskarls, and I was going to try and do a possible surprise against my opponent, but I want to say next, before we talk about him, is the rules in this battle were no arty, max 2 horse archers, and he's playing as Mongol, so I'm sure you can all imagine where this is going to go. He has 1 unit of Khan's Guard right there, and a very large contingent somewhere out here. I will see it very shortly. Very shortly. Probably going to pop up any second now, in the dense fog. Here it is. 3 units of Mongol horse or heavy archers, so very expensive missile cav. And at first it was like, I only said 2, but eventually, here comes some more. Yes, 6. And I believe there were actually more in total hidden out here in the forest, so I was quite upset. I was like, really? There's only 2 rules and you managed to break one of them. How do you fail this epically? And here pops out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Mongol infantry. No, they are not really infantry. They have bows and arrows and supposedly stand up well in a melee fight. We will see how that works out. So my opponent is going to rush up here while I'm reorganizing my troops and shoot some arrows at me with his, rule-breaking Mongol horse archers. Thank you so much, opponent. And he's gonna shoot into my Norse archers apparently, as well as hit a couple of my dismounted Huskarls. That's actually really fun to say, Huskarl. Also, I'm moving up my Huskarls right here. They're mounted, and he's gonna shower them with arrows and kill quite a few of them. And so eventually I will start running these guys after I see what kind of a massacre it is because my opponent decided to break the rules. Thank you again, opponent. Only a couple rules and you managed to break them. I don't understand how people do that. I don't know if you just don't understand. No, he understood English just fine, but look at all the arrows coming in.
Attack. We must act now.
That's fine by me. I'm just gonna take my time. Always take my time in these games. That's my one rule. Just take your time, choose your targets wisely, never freak out. So, I see he has a lot of, archers. And I have a large contingent of cavalry. So let's go ahead and use my cavalry to the most effective action and charge forth and hunt down these stupid archers. And at this point I realize I'm pretty blobbed up, so I'm going to go ahead and split them up. He's once again using more heavy archers to try and shower my guys. I don't understand why people do this, especially in medieval, because, horse archers aren't that effective. Wow, this is a really long train of horses. Eventually I will start splitting them up, but here I catch a couple of his stupid archers, and they're going to take some axes to the back of the head. They totally deserve it. Worthless rule breakers. So something my opponent did do correct was bring 3 units of Mongol heavy lancers. And my advisor decides to go ahead and ruin my sentence during this point in time, but that's fine. We're going to continue on going. And he also decides to go ahead and try to outflank my position. And we will see over time how he moves and what he decides to do. Now while I'm using my giant blob of, horses to take care of that, I'm just using my melee infantry, and they can all hide in, like, forest or anywhere, I guess. I guess this is considered enough of a forest, but most of them are hidden. I put my sword staff militia in spear wall, but his, missile units cannot fire on my guys if they're hidden. Now, if he already started attacking them beforehand, yes, he could continue to focus fire on them, but right now he could not attack any of my axemen. So, my opponent decides to use his 3 units of lancers to go ahead and attack my general, but he failed to realize that I was watching the entire time. I have these 2 units of, sword staff militia, so let's go ahead and watch how devastating this is. That guy, I give him a 7 out of 10 for that vault. He unfortunately does get a nice charge into some of my general's bodyguard, but that's fine. I'm going to charge forth my Norse axeman and move my general up a little bit farther so he can't get killed. I'm not too worried because he is at the very front of the line and he's just attacking the back. And my axemen plus my sword staff militia are just going to destroy these lancers. They don't even have a chance at all because my sword staff force are technically spear units. They have very long spears and they just destroy cavalry. Look at these guys just getting whittled down. Plus I increased the defensive bonus. There, one guy unfortunately does go down, but is it worth it for him? No, not at all.
Now.
And these axemen are just going to destroy any cavalry unit. And boom, all 3 units go ahead and rout 6, 4, and 2. There's unfortunately some of my Huskarls running away. That guy went down. What took him down? Did my Huskarl just like bump into him? I am quite confused as to how he died. So what do you do if you're confused on how some routing unit dies in Medieval 2 Total War? Well, you go back and watch the entire replay all over again. So we're gonna go ahead and watch. How does this guy die? Yes! My routing unit struck him down! What? I didn't know that could happen. That's pretty awesome. But, I'll take it. Unless a ghost, or, he just tripped. Wow, he looks in a very dramatic pose. Look at that. He must have practiced with Shakespeare, obviously.
Our men are winning.
Bad micro mistake on my part. I didn't order my troops to split up properly. So I have like 3 units of horses after this 1 unit of archers. So I do split them up. Here is some Norse war clerics going in here, shooting these guys hitting them in the face with a mace. Oh, that rhymed. I was not expecting that, to be honest, to rhyme. But look at these guys. Those helmets look amazing, and those maces are probably going to hurt quite a bit. Yeah, just ask that. Oh, he just shook it off. He ain't shaking that off, though. And so eventually, all it is just hunting down all of his archers. And like I said, I have so many horse units that it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Our men are under
His
attack.
army would have been effective
now.
had it been that I not brought so much cavalry. So we're just going to watch these guys get their heads bashed in with maces. Ooh, that looks painful for that dude. Who needs this awesome, stuff like Rome 2? I prefer a game that plays well, like this. Unlike Rome 2, And here he's moving them forward. Don't ask me why. He had, I guess, really bad micro. Here he actually routs a unit of Huskarls, which was very unfortunate for me.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we
Here
remain
killing some
true
more
and
of these guys.
steadfast,
He decides to move
victory
them up.
will be
That's
ours.
fine with me. As I always say, don't move your guys like this, because they're just going to get bashed in with maces and axes.
The enemy
Look,
are badly
routed those
bloody.
guys.
They have lost half their men.
And these guys, yeah, rout. I was just about to say they're probably about to rout. These guys, yep, they're going to rout. And that's fine, I lost a unit of Huskarls, so be it. He's going to go ahead and reform his lines with all of his stupid Mongol infantry. That's fine. I still have plenty of, cavalry to chase these guys down. Yeah, I'm not understanding how that sword is supposed to take down this heavily armored of a knight. I mean, honestly. Yeah, go ahead and route. And wow, he's actually using his Khan's guard. He's going to go ahead and charge my Norse war clerics. We'll go with that name. And that's fine. I will stand in this fight. They're probably not going to win it. I mean, obviously they're not going to win it. You know, they're kind of winded and whatnot. And boom, they go ahead and rout. But let's go ahead and charge in 2 more guys. That's fine. Also, some more guys. 13. Not a huge amount, but I'm just going to stab these guys in the face with mace. Oh, it's mace versus mace. Who built them better? Denmark or the Mongols? And here, finally, I'm moving my entire army up and using my general's bodyguard to hunt down some more of these stupid archers that were everywhere. And so essentially I lost most of my cav units by here, but by this point in time, but that's fine by me because I got rid of, I think, every single unit of archers, foot archers. So that's fine with me. I have, you know, just this one left with 6 guys. Poor guy just died. But as long as he's stuck here and loses a unit of horse archers, I'm gonna go ahead and charge forth with my heavy infantry. That we've already talked about is really good for taking down anything on a horse because they have axes. These guys decide to stop and kind of think about it. Eventually, yes, there we go. Here's a huge contingent of people charging forth. Here, my opponent's bringing in more Mongol horse archers, heavy archers, to try and stop this huge contingent of axe-wielding maniacs. Let's see how this works out for this Mongol. Ooh. Or that. Nope. Yeah. Not a very good day for the Mongols, I will say that much. Or for a couple of these Denmark guys, because they decided to go ahead and turn on flaming arrows.
If we remain true
I
and
forgot that
steadfast,
it hurts
victory will
accuracy,
be
so
ours.
I think I burned more of my guys, see, than the opponent. And look, those guys are going to charge in. Not so good for them. So essentially, my opponent has 2 contingents left. Unit of horse archers over there, and his Khan's guard. Which I think he actually forgets about. And there's his general. So, General Genghis Khan, how does it feel to have your ass whooped by a whole bunch of Denmark Norse axemen? He's thinking about it. See, he reacted to my question. So let's go ahead and watch how painful this charge is from the rear with axes. I think that's a pretty definite answer. This guy actually tripped while he was rushing up, but my opponent is nice enough to go ahead and admit defeat because, well, like I said, he only had 2 units. I was flaming these guys with all 4 units of my, archers that I had left. Pretty crazy to think about, and this is what my opponent did wrong. My opponent, 1, allowed me to keep my archers. I had all 4 units of archers left, and quite in good numbers. Like, look how full these guys are. That unit looks a little whittled down, but mostly everyone. And he had the complete and total missile advantage. But that's his problem. He spent it all on missiles, and that's a very bad idea, especially because, like I said, I brought a lot of cav. And by a lot, it's, I mean, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of cav plus my general's bodyguard. That's not a big deal. Not a huge amount. But it was enough to chase down all, like, 8 units of his foot archers. So, kind of bad decision on my opponent. Also, don't break the rules. Do not do that. I hate it whenever people break the rules. They're not that hard to, understand. If you don't like them, then leave the game. But let's go ahead and look at the kills. Look, 74, 67 with my Norse War clerics. I love those guys. Those guys look awesome. I really like their skins. Once again, this whole graphic debate. I don't care about graphics. These graphics look amazing to me. 24, 23 of my sword staffs. They did exactly what I wanted. Quite a bit more than my dismounted Huskarls and a couple of my Norse axemen. And look how many more men I fielded than my opponent. So he could shoot me all he wanted. He had a lot less men than me. And I had quite a few to spare. So even had I not defeated all of his foot archers with my cavalry, that's fine. I would have been able to chase him down because I have such a large contingent. Look over here. Look at all these blobs of Norse axemen just waiting to hunt down more people. And there's even more up here. So I had so many guys left to completely destroy my opponent. Now, how effective are missiles in Medieval 2? Not really that effective. I mean, crossbows are really effective against armor. Bows in general, I don't think they're that effective. They cause morale problems. If you leave them on flaming, get behind an opponent and flame them, that causes some pretty big morale problems. But don't expect a lot from them. Axemen, keep this in mind. Anyone who does not wield a sword is probably going to be good against cavalry. And I'm talking about melee units, but like axes, halberds, spears, all are really good against cavalry. Also, my axemen, some of them had really high defense. I'm trying to remember. It was my dismounted huskarls who have really high defense, and my Norse axemen who had really high attack. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead and look at the stats. Always upgrade them. That's why these guys look so awesome in all this plate armors, because I upgraded them, and they get an awesome visual bonus, which I think is really awesome, and something Rome 2 failed at. But I'm going to stop making fun of Rome 2. I'm going to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Learned something on how to take care of stupid missile spam and rule breakers. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we'll catch you guys in the next chapter.